Hi y'all, it is the Southern Belle from Hell here, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. If you celebrate something else, I've got something for you guys today. So, my last build was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, so I said, what can I do now that's different? You know, something that I don't see a whole lot of people doing, and I've really had it in my mind, I guess, with this new Life and Death pack, to do a Sims version of Jack Skellington's house in Nightmare Before Christmas. I am a child of the 90s. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I love Tim Burton. That was my favorite movie when I was little, and still is. I watch it a lot. I definitely watch it around Halloween, and then around Thanksgiving, kind of getting ready before Christmas. And I'm living for it. And if you can see towards the bottom of this huge mountainous hill, there's Jack and Sally. I've made a short that's going to come out right after this post, and it is how I made a Sims version of Jack and Sally. I kind of made Jack kind of handsome, and I made Sally, of course, she was always pretty, but I made her a little bit, bow chicka wow wow. So we don't see a whole lot of Jack's house in Nightmare Before Christmas, but the little bit we do see, he has like this pipe slash, I guess, entrance mechanism that comes out of his second story, and it goes up into his bedroom slash office experimental area where he's doing all these experiments on toys and stuff. So I tried to recreate that, and at first I used the industrial pipes, but it wouldn't be usable. It would just be a room there that wouldn't be accessible. And I'm like, that takes the fun out of it. So I'm just gonna make a hallway that's big enough for you to climb up a ladder and go up into this this room that kind of just is up in the sky, kind of like an overlook. And it's totally functional. It is super cool. It's probably one of the neatest bedroom areas I've ever made in The Sims, just because of how weird it is and how you have to get to it. Now this house, a lot of it is CC. I wanted to kind of play around with CC because there's so much gothic Christmas stuff out there. You know what I mean? Like, we have a ton of Christmas stuff in the game, but not a whole lot of gothic stuff. Like, there is some black, white, and red Christmas swatches, but not on everything. So I went CC shopping, and I have put a link in the description of a Google Doc that lists all of the CC I've used, including the CC for Jack and Sally. So if you look at that short, I don't think I tagged my CC in that description, but it is in the Google Doc that I have attached below. A lot of it I got from the Sims resource, but I did find a couple things on Pinterest that led me to the creators' actual pages. So it was fun. It was fun to see different people's creations of gothic Christmas decor. Sibylette was one of the main ones that I downloaded from, and I also got Sibyllette's spiral staircase. Now, you do need some other stuff with it. It doesn't just come with the staircase, because most of the staircases that are spiral are just for decorative purposes. This one is functional, but you need Ravishing's elevator mod, and it kind of behaves like an elevator. You don't see the Sims climbing it. It's just they go up to it like they would an elevator, and then they pop up at the first or whatever floor that you're sending them to, So it's a little bit different, but I remember in the movie he had a stone spiral staircase, but his house wasn't that big. It was on this huge sloping hill, and it just looked like a wonky kind of topsy-turvy tiny home with this bedroom that is jutting out as like an overlook in the sky. So I wanted to keep it like a tiny house because, that that's how it looks in the movie, is tiny. And I did download Sibyllette's Stone Spiral Staircase, and it didn't fit in. And honestly, it would have like cut off half the house. No. So I just used the kind of, I don't know exactly what it's called in her file, but it's just like a wrought iron spiral staircase. Now, the stuff I use in the game, it's pretty obvious. I use a lot of stuff from the Vampires pack. I use a lot of stuff from Life and Death, to give it that Halloween look, because this house is in Halloween Town, and that's one of the reasons why I picked Ravenwood to put this lot in. I thought about doing Forgotten Hollow, but I'm like, this lot looks spooky anyways, and it kind of has that towny feel. Like a neighborhood that is full. It's not out in the woods somewhere. And Halloween Town was a town. You saw other creatures, houses and stuff like that. Maybe like in short glimpses, but you saw it. It was there. So I kind of liked this particular location, because if the Pumpkin King is going to live anywhere, it's going to be like right smack dab in the middle of Halloween Town, I would think, with this gorgeous little courtyard that's in front of this lot. So, I don't know, to me, this area just made sense. But I do not show everything in this build, and the reason why is because while I was decorating the inside, my camera just kept jumping because of all of these elevations to, kind of give this lot definition and height and make it look like it's on top of a miniature mountain / big frickin' hill. So I use all the rocks that is possible to use from the Life and Death pack. And it just goes really well. It just got like, I was living for it. But it took me quite a long time, so I'm kind of zooming through this. Now I have all the rocks and all the little crevices, and I'm just trying to figure out how to decorate, kind of cover the dirt area of these tiny cliffs. And I'm using the plants from Life and Death that, just look really dried out and dead, and I just kind of stuff them in the areas that show a lot of those crevices. I sprinkle a lot of CC stuff around, like the pumpkins, CC tombstones, because they just, they have a different texture that looks creepy. The game tombstones look creepy, but to me, I don't know. These that I found just really matched. They pass the vibe, so to speak. So I use the tool mod from Twisted Mexi a lot, just to kind of fit everything in, stuff things in areas so that it looks more, covered up and more natural. I had a lot of fun doing it though. It was time consuming, but it started to just all come together. I found this little pumpkin dude that reminded me of the pumpkin from the beginning of the movie, and I went, wow, this is perfect, so before you start climbing and making your way to Jack's house, there's your little pumpkin dude that opens up the movie. But I really liked this idea of having him up on the hill, because if you remember from the movie, the mayor comes and he has to go through all of these steps to get to Jack's house on top of this hill, and he falls and rolls down. And so I tried to recreate that, like it's just winding down this big mountain, okay? Well, I'll say big mountain. And, it ain't like Mount Everest or nothing, but, it's pretty big. I mean, it definitely overlooks the entire area, which I think was the point of, him having that overlook bedroom so he could see everything around Halloween Town. But right now I'm just putting down some shading before I start taking out some more CC that I found that looked extra Halloween-y. I wanted to put these plants in from life and death, just to kind of mix with the landscape that's already around it, make it look more natural, like it's meant to be in this spot. I add some flowers, some black roses. I remember Sally, she picks her flowers before it, sets on fire in the shape of a Christmas tree. So I put some flowers down. And of course, with all of my Gothic old builds, gotta have them vines. Gotta have them vines in there, Gives it texture. I think it does. I could be totally wrong, but I think it looks cool. I had found these really, really creepy trees that light up. Like, they are actually lit, and when you turn it to night mode, it's lit up like a Halloween Christmas tree. It's not a Christmas tree. It looks like trees from hell, but I remember, especially in the beginning of the movie, you have all of these talking trees that kind of have this eerie glow coming from it. So I found these trees, and I found it on Pinterest, and I can't remember who made it, but it's linked in the description. And to me, this just fit perfectly. It looks like, there's fire, lava coming from inside. And it reminded me of those trees with those faces that were singing, the This Is Halloween song. So I kind of just have this main big one that's overlooking the cemetery, and then I scatter these little ones that, look like they have some glowing embers in them, just around different areas of the lot, make it more full. And I loved it. I do not regret finding that on CC, because it just was perfect with what I was going for. I do take the debug red flowers and the Grimbrosia plants, because again, it just, to me, added a little bit more and it fit in. I size up the little pumpkin dude so you can see him first thing before you walk up to Jack's house. And just so you can kind of see around this winding stair, I put the torches from Life and Death, and it'll just light your way. But everything else in this house is CC. And get ready for the screenshots. I wish I could show you everything and how I built it, but it just kept jumping and it was super annoying. I was really struggling with editing, and I said, you know what, it would just look better if I did screenshots, because of the way this is all elevated. I just cannot keep this camera still. So stay tuned. They are gorgeous. They are awesome. And we have a lot of CC that has stills from the movie. So until next time, guys, have a good one and have a Merry Christmas and happiest of holidays to you guys. Goodbye.